afternoon. You're welcome to Women's Corner. Of course, here we share success story. We talk about ourselves, and at the same time, we'll give you update on what you need to know to become the better version of yourself as a woman. My name is Just Blossom, and of course, today is the day where we hear something different. We'll be talking about success story, but we'll be diving into a particular aspect of her success story. But I don't want to unveil so much. I just want you to know that this program can be watched from Galaxy rather, in Oyo, Ondo, and Lagos State. And of course, our frequency free to air UHF 27 and our major social media platforms who are streaming their Galaxy Television. You're welcome on board again. Today, I'm not doing it alone. I have my co-host with me. I've been having this for a month now. So yes, she's red in the town, red and black. Are your courses there?
Definitely. I rejected.
You know the way they turn black and red and yellow to horse's color. But you look flamboyant. Let me use that word.
Oh, you look rainbowy.
Oh,
Anyway,
the
like,
colors though.
yeah.
It's good to have you on the show.
So
Thank you.
here. Good afternoon, viewers. Welcome to another exciting episode of Women's Corner. Where we talk about everything pertaining to women, from entrepreneurship to social impact, personal growth, and career growth. You're in the right place if you're tuning in for the first time. So sit back and don't go anywhere. My name is Grassroots Imokode, the Gen Z host.
All right. Anyway, today's gonna be fun. But before that, before I introduce our guest to you, let's quickly go on a short break and the first tip for the day. Then we'll come back and unveil our guest. Stay with us. Welcome back. Yes, you're still watching Women's Corner. And of course, we have our guest already joined us over a call, but her name, I'll just say her name and her profile. But we have Ndidiamaka Esther Oluwaseyi. She's the CEO of Oluma Agro Hub Nigeria Limited. Well, with over 5 years of dedicated experience in agro processing and farming, she has a passion for promoting healthy living and natural farm produce. She's also a PR person and has a passion for interpersonal communication. Well, she's deeply involved in advocating for organic products and healthy living on the note that she began her company. And of course, they're into food processing and packaging. She is also a member of a couple of associations rather, where she functions in different capacity on platforms of AWAP, that is Association of Women in Agro Processing. And she is the Assistant Secretary in Couples Fellowship of the Citadel Global Community Church and an anniversary leader. Aside from that, I always call her a pro in what she does because she is a lot of things. She went to the Nigeria Institute of Journalism at Ogba in 1990 to 1992. Can you beat that? Well, also, she studied marketing communication in 2003 to 2007. And of course, a lot more of experience. And today, that's what we'll be talking about: communication in journalism. Ndidi, do we have you there?
Yes, please. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. You know, I love your name, Ndidiamaka. You know, those things, movies then, you always hear Ndidiamaka. You right?
Yeah, that is very
It's very smooth and sweet,
Yeah.
you know. But you're welcome to the show, ma. It's good to have you.
Thank you so very much.
All right. So I'm just going to dive straight into it. Now, I know a lot of people know what journalism is because they know journalists. But I think a lot of things that a lot of people mistake is the communication skills that are required in journalism. So let's start with that first, the basic. What are the communicational skills that one needs to have to be able to, you know, excel properly and well in journalism?
Well, okay. Thank you so very much. Some of the skills you need to have in communication in journalism is you have to be a good listener.
Yeah.
You have to be a good listener. You have to give room for feedback. You know, in journalism, there's this thing called the two-way communication.
Mm-hmm.
You speak and then you wait for a feedback, and then that's how you're able to assess or you're able to judge that the other person or the other party understands what you're saying or what you're trying to communicate. And then you should be able to know what language suits a particular set of audience or target.
Hmm.
You know, when you're talking to the teenagers, there's this language you should use. And when you're talking to adults, there's that language you should be able to use to be able to communicate properly.
Hmm.
You know.
All right. Okay, continue, please.
So you should be able to understand your audience well enough to be able to use their language to be able to speak to them so that you can communicate properly and then be able to get the right kind of feedback. The thing is, if you're not communicating with the right channel or with the right language, you might not be getting the right kind of feedback. You know, so you should know when you should use verbal, non-verbal, and all of that to communicate. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that response. Now, from what you have said, that's where my next question is stemming from. And that part is the part whereby, now let's take it to reality. You are probably on a red carpet, or you are having a popular interview, and it could be a studio setting, and you're asking your guest, presumed to be a celebrity or to be a top personnel or a very strong, powerful person. And you ask questions and they seem not to find it pleasant enough that you're asking such a questions and maybe almost becoming rude or impolite in responding to you in a way of trying to water down or look down on you. Now, as a professional in the field, what do you suggest that a journalist should do at that point? Should we continue with the questioning, or should we I always say rearrange, should we repackage the question again in another form, or should we just drop the question entirely? What do you think we should do?
If it's a vital question and you want clarity for, you can reframe your question. Make it more polite. Make it not too attacking, so to speak. You know, put it in such a way that the person is a little relaxed to be able to answer the question. And if the person still insists on not wanting to answer that question, you can drop it. And while you talk, you can find a way to chip it in again in a more friendly way. And let's see if the person will be able to answer.
Okay, all right.
Thank you so much for answering the question. So in as much as we're trying to talk about what effective communication means in journalism, we should also try to look at the other part, which is poor communication. So in what way does poor communication affect news credibility as a journalist?
Well, it does. It affects it greatly because at that point in time, you're not getting your response. You're not getting that which you want to report at the end of the day. You know, so in whatever way you want to do it, try as much as possible to try to get your response, because poor communication will eventually lead to miscommunication. Eventually, it means that you're not giving your audience the right information they want. You know, talking about, okay, let's, well, do I want to talk about it?
Sure,
Please, we want to
listen.
Please, if
like,
you have great examples.
Trending right now.
Yeah.
About Regina
Daniel
and the senator. You know, the girl cried out and said she's been abused in her marriage. And the man comes out to say that she's into drugs. That's why this is happening. Do you understand? If you want to, I mean, nobody is there. I'm not in their marriage. I don't live in their homes.
Yeah.
But common sense will tell us, or if we want to be very ethical, if somebody has been taking drugs and this person is your wife for over a period of time, It's not when she has cried out
That you come out to say.
In his
that you
defense.
now come out to say that it's because he's using drugs.
Mm.
You know, abuse in marriage is one thing. Drug abuse is another thing.
Truly.
Do you understand? And once there's an abuse in marriage, it goes on.
Mm.
So for us to be able to say, okay, what really happened? If we want to just put our common sense cap on, we'll say, okay, fine. Something is wrong somewhere. But this man is using this to cover up. So you will see that this is actually poor communication because he's trying to hide under
The guise of drug abuse.
Do you understand? You don't have to send trucks to beat your wife
Right.
for whatever reason. So to me, that's poor communication. He's sending the wrong signal.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are the conscious steps to take to improve poor communication, to upgrade from poor communication to a great tool for communicating in journalism?
Well, that's where investigative journalism comes in. You investigate what it is you want to report. You put it out there as much as, you know, the most about the situation. And then let the other person come out and say, okay, it's true or it's a lie. But just report the fact that you know.
Hello, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I want to ask one more question before we go on a short break. Now, my question is stemming from the fact, of course, they don't stay in the offices. They don't stay where we stay, but they presume that every media house is a madhouse. That's what they presume, right? But obviously, it's not a madhouse. And there's another thing again, another clause they put again to media houses is that is where you get the generation of rumors, allegedly, things that are not even happening. It's tend to believe that it's happening because they just, according to people outside the world of journalism, they feel like we always concoct words or concoct messages or concoct ideas and just push it up to the public because we want to sell. Now, on the spot,
I beg to differ.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
That's where I'm going to, because these are what the people outside the world of journalism say. So now you're here. I want you to help us correct that notion. We don't even care if they call it a madhouse. That's fine. But you see the parts whereby they feel like we cover up things and we do not communicate the truth. We kind of, how will I put it? We kind of make it subtle, conceal, you know, make it look nice, make it look palatable, and we push it out there, another narrative entirely from what we know. So you as a professional, we want you to make us a clarity on that statement, because I like the fact that you said you beg to differ. So please go ahead.
Okay. I know that while we were in school, but in my little time of practice, we did a bit of investigative journalism. So for you to be able to report whatever it is, you must have investigated to a large extent. And so a lot of times, when they think that we are covering up some things or we're not giving real facts, it's because sometimes it's not that you don't want to report it the way it is, but you are trying to put a human face to it. As in, you're not using some vocal languages. You're not putting out things that will be offensive. You want your readers or your audience to be able to get the information and get it in the right state of mind. So it's not like we're cocoing things or we're just putting up rumors or whatever. No. You know, sometimes there are some pictures that we put up and then you say, a certain degree of maturity should be able to assess that kind of photojournalism. So those are kind of the things that we do. You don't come out and begin to show where people are being massacred and all of that.
Right.
And you know, and people are looking at it and they are
Gory
screaming.
image, yeah.
You know. So you're putting it in such a way that even when they are looking at it, their senses are still intact.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like you're putting off with false information. No.
Mm.
And it's not poor communication.
True.
It's just being able to communicate your information in such a way that is acceptable to the other person without being without injuring the person's sense of reasoning.
Right. Thank you very much for that
Thank
response,
you.
because that is exactly what we're trying to do. We can't put up those gory images or those very nasty comments. We can't put it out there because the media is vast right now. We have kids also, on the media. So we have we have to protect them and still keep the morals and values of the society in check. Well, thank you so much, Lydia Maka, for actually stating that part. We still have you, of course, but we just want to go for a short break. Let's take some water. I'm sure you've dished out a lot of wisdom right now, so you need to just take water and take a cheap pill to relax a little bit. So while we're going for a short break, we'll be right back after the short break. We'll be having the second tip for the day. Then we'll be right back to continue talking about communication in journalism. Stay with us and don't go nowhere. All right, welcome back. Thank you so much for staying glued to the TV screen on Galaxy Television, and we still have Ndidi Amaka. So, welcome back, Ndidi. It's good to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much. So, my question is going to stem from one of the major things that I don't want to say, but I'm just going to give an example. They used to tell you whenever you want to interview, it's the 5 whys that you must have when you want to write a script, you want to interview, what your story must contain. Can you tell us exactly what those things are? Because I think a lot of people tend to skip that. They just want to know what's up. They don't want to know how it happened, why it happened, where, when, and all of that. So please, can you help us explain better on that part of communication skills?
Okay, so the 5 why, the 5 it's W, and
W,
the what, the where, the when, the and then the how, the why, and then the how.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at what was it that actually happened, how did it or where did it happen, when did that thing happen, what is the cause of that thing, how did it happen, and why? What's the reason behind what happened?
Okay, so those are the 5 W. I'll say why. Oh my word! Yeah, those are the 5 W's that you have. Yeah, exactly. So if we know that, now some persons still believe that if we know that, it's not enough to be able to cook up a story, or to write up a story. So let's go a little bit deeper. When sometimes we cannot get where, when, and why, and how, what other ways can we use to be able to get a very strong story? At least something that will show that, okay, you're getting there, but you're not there yet. And very soon, with more investigation as an investigative journalist, you will get there. So what are the other ways that one can go about it to be able to still bring out something for the people to know that, okay, this is what's going on, but in due time, we'll give you the full report. What are those things that needs to be avoided?
You can work hand in hand with another media station that has the full details. And then you're saying, okay, you're getting this from so place, but you also will do your finding and be able to give authentic information.
All
right. So I'm going to ask you a question based on relationship with the journalist and the public. You communicating to your listeners. How does communication build trust between journalists and the public? In what way does it really build trust? Is it based on how credible your stories are? Is it based on the genuinity of your story? Or what exactly, in what way can we build trust?
Okay, the best way a journalist or journalist can build trust with their audience is truly the genuinity of the genuinity of your information, the genuinity, and then how credible it is. That's also being genuine, and then being factual. You know, being factual, and then when your audience at some point in time check over time that you're being consistent at what you do, trust is built.
So that trust is built. I like that one. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go over to emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, I know it's very, very required when dealing with the public, or as a journalist, or, you know, whoever you want to interview. And so the first thing I would ask is what level of emotional intelligence? If you want to give us an example, that's fine. Level of emotional intelligence that is required in the field of journalism, because there's sometimes, you know, as a journalist, or investigative journalist, and you want to ask questions, you want to go into places just because you want to find out the real story, the truth. Now, how are you able to, you know, build that emotional intelligence that you can go there and get what you want without being caught, or without being abused, or whatever, or being run down? You understand? Some persons are being looked down on, and they are being thrown out of a building, out of a compound, because they probably do not even want you to know the truth behind the story. So how do you build that emotional intelligence? And also, lastly, let's talk about AI. Now, how do you think AI has influenced journalism in this age? Because a lot of people feel like AI, artificial intelligence, is good, is helping, and is building a lot of people. But at the same time, it seems to people that it is some part of journalism that is required as a human being. So please answer these two questions distinctively.
Okay. Sometimes if you should feel the positive people talking about emotional intelligence, but don't be too emotional. Don't be carried away. You get it. As much as you want to show some level of empathy or compassion, don't be carried away. Because if you get carried away, you can be swayed and not get the right information that you want. Be yourself.
Right.
And then talking about AI, you already answered it. There are some things that the human senses will, you know, AI is what you actually input into it that it will tell you.
True.
So AI is not there at that point where a gun is being shot. You will not AI a gun was shot at so, and then you describe it, and AI begins to report. But you are there as an eyewitness. You are seeing the way the thing is being done, or the way the gun was shot. And you are able to report that, okay, this is this that happened. AI can't do that.
Right. True.
So there are distinct functions that a human person physically would do while on site that AI can't do.
Right. That's very true. On site, it's just impossible for AI to help you out. Well, I think that's my question. You've answered it from the angle that I was actually looking at, because a lot of people, sometimes you go to some settings and they'll tell you, oh, what are you doing? AI can't do it. I was like, okay, really? No matter how much, whatever you think the AI is giving to you, we're not watering down the effectiveness of AI. We're just trying to say that humans are still the same person, so you put this into the system and the system gives it back to you. So
exactly.
It's just millions of people.
The human, as a human being, you can think for yourself. You can know what to write and how to put up your story because you were there or you witnessed it. AI can't do that.
Yeah.
AI will not only give you back what you have sent into AI or what you have asked AI to say.
True.
So,
Okay, all right. Thank you very much for
Thank
that
you
one.
very much. So, lastly, from my angle, I'm going to ask you the effectiveness or the essentials or the, let's say, the usefulness or importance, yes, of body language in journalism. Because when you get to talk to experts like yourself, they'll tell you how important it is to add your body language to your verbal flow while broadcasting. So how important is it to have that body language skill as a broadcaster?
it's one of the best, one of the top talents you should have. You should be able to communicate non-verbally
Mm-hmm.
and verbally. And so your body language, you don't let, okay, in my growing up days, there's a sign my mother would give, and you already understand.
Mhm.
You don't have to open her mouth to say,
Mhm.
okay, okay, say for instance, we went somewhere, and she doesn't want you to eat in that place. And you're asking already, so at some point in time, you know she doesn't want you to eat. So they're offering you food, and you are saying,
Yes, accent.
Mama, can I eat? She will look at you. There's a way she will roll her eyes, and then she will tell you, eat. You dare not eat. You dare not eat. And so while reporting as well,
Mm-hmm.
as much as possible that you want to communicate with your environment,
Mm.
you should be able to watch. You should be able to give some signs that your other colleagues should be able to know that, okay, this is where we should live here now.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay, this is where you should ask this kind of question,
Right.
So body language is very, very important, honestly.
So invariably, body language can sell you out, and body language.
It can. I
Yeah,
agree.
and at the same time, your body language, your confidence, your courage can make you step into rooms that you're not even meant to walk into, because your body language is telling them that you own the place and you know your rights, and they will allow you to walk past while they will stop some other persons, right?
Confident.
Yes, confidence.
Confidence.
Your courage.
Because sometimes I've seen a lot of people experience that. They'll be like, I was going out with my team and they allowed this person to enter, they allowed the other person to enter, and they did not allow me to enter. Like, what courage were you having?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, what courage are you having? So anyway, last question before we go. I would like to ask this, that what giveaway advice will you give to anyone who is planning to go into journalism, either investigative or just being a journalist or a broadcaster or a presenter? What are the advice, the first tools that they should have as a person if they really want to excel in the field of journalism or broadcaster, as it may be?
Be yourself, love whatever you're doing, and once you get a feedback, work on, improve upon whatever you get upon. Don't talk down on any feedback, whether negative or whatever. Just take it in good vibe and work on it. That's what I do. And then when you see a better person, a better journalist, try to be friends with that person to be able to learn and let the person mentor you.
Right. Thank you so very much. So right now, I think I'll just pick you as one of my mentors too in the Diamaka.
Yeah. My mentor.
So you're going to be mentoring us right now. I want more body language, more confidence, and of course, let's go deeper more into the investigative journalist, because I love that part. Unraveling the truth behind the hidden stories. Well, anyways, I would like to say thank you, Lydia Amaka, for being part of the show. It's been a fun ride talking about what we do, right? A friend of mine says, she always says this, like, they are just paying you for gossiping. What's all this? Like, I don't There's another person will say, you like to talk, like explain things, geez, someone is just paying you for doing things you do for fun. And my darling, it's beyond just talking. It's a whole lot. It's over.
Because without information, everybody is in the dark.
Exactly. And somebody has to take the first fruit. So, well, anyway, thank you so much, Ndiamaka, for being on the show. We really, really love you. I know next week is still your day where you come and tell us your success story. But, you know, for now, let's just say thank you so much for educating us on communication in journalism. And I did enjoy it, to be honest. I did enjoy it. But I hope you enjoyed the show too.
I did. I did.
That's amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, and you're welcome.
Thank you.
Looking forward to next week.
Yes, we'll give on to
Look
next
forward
week.
to it.
Well, anyways, that is Ndiamaka. Thank you so very much for being part of the show. It's been so much fun with you, and I loved every part of it. All the questions from the two amazing hosts of the show. It was beautiful, right? And I hope you learned. Yeah, right? I hope they learned. But anyways, I think at this point, I would like us to take the last tip.
Yes.
So yeah, let's take the last tip, then we'll come back and say our goodbyes. All right, welcome back. Yes, we'll be wrapping up. We'll be seeing you pretty soon on the buzz, but sincere apologies would have to go because we might be starting the buzz very late, or maybe let's not just say maybe a bit late today, but of course we'll be joining you pretty soon on the buzz. So we're apologizing ahead of time just in case. So we'll be seeing you on the buzz. My name is Blossom. To have a lovely day for yourself. Bye for now.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Women's Corner. See you same time, same station tomorrow. My name is Grace Mokode, the Gen Z host. Goodbye.